I've been picking that orange tree clean. No mic today, so the sound might not be that good. Hey, how's it going? I got caught. It's hot today, man. Holy cow. We're having a heat wave. We're having a heat wave. And it's been weird weather anyhow across the country, and I think a lot of it, I mean, I know a lot of it is the sun activity. We're getting hit by some coronal mass ejections. You guys should look that up. It's affecting us here with heat. So unseasonably warm in the 90s. Not happy about it. I'm not happy about a bunch of things. This is me. I'm not happy. Things are weird with me right now, man. You know, you guys know I don't work a lot. Like on a regular project, I hustle a lot. And boy, usually I'll get like a big job every once in a while, and then I can save enough money to hold me over for a couple months. That's where I'm at now, and I'm supposed to start this project with this guy, and I've mentioned him recently, and he's a great dude, and we're friends. And we just talked again the other day, just a couple days ago, and he's like, dude, I'm sorry, I want to send you some money, hold you over, we're going to do this. And then nothing. Nothing again. And I don't want to be that guy. He's turning me into that guy where I got to send him notes, and I don't want to be that guy. I want to walk away at this point. But I got nothing else on the horizon, so puts me in a tough spot. I don't want to, I know that this stuff's going to happen, so I don't want to get going on like my own little projects, because I'm believing what he's telling me. And if I get my shop going with another project that I then have to put aside to do the big paying gig, you understand, creates a problem. I don't have a real pro. You guys know I'm so pro, which means not. The quality of my work is professional, but the space I use to do it is not. It's a poor craftsman that blames his tools. But this situation is affecting me mentally in a negative way. So it's kind of got me to the point where it's actually affecting my sleep a little, but also the things I am trying to get done. For instance, you guys know I make the watch bands, watch wrist check. I'm wearing the ultra rare Seiko titanium perpetual calendar. This is about a 25, 26-year-old watch. They made them in two sizes. This is the larger of the two. I've had a couple people try to buy this watch from me. Not interested in selling it because it's that rare. I think they might have only made it for a year, maybe up to 3 years. Very rare watch. At any rate, I made a band for Jim, a patron of the channel here. It did come out really well, but it's not like as dialed as I want it to be, because I thought Jim's wrist was the same size as mine, but it was a ½ inch smaller. So where the buckle goes into the band, it's a little thicker there. It should be fine. I think I'm just going to send it to him anyhow. We talked about it already. Yesterday, I was using some thin red goatskin leather. for another watch, which is belonged to Roger. Hey, Raj, working on your band. So I cut all the leather, glued it all together. I did both sides with this thin leather, punched the holes in it, started stitching, and my stitching lines were all over the place. And I figured out why. It's because the leather's so flexible that the holes that you prick in there elongate real easy, and you can't hold a consistent thread pattern. The thread can pull side to side, so the stitches are all over. It just looks shitty. So I realized I've got to line it with the thicker brown leather. Anybody need some old chairs? Old Adirondack chairs. So yeah, all that work for nothing. I spent all day yesterday working on that band, got to the stitching process and realized it's not going to work. So I have to redo all that. But the point is that I'm not focusing well enough here because I've got this other stuff on my mind. Unbelievable. Everybody's trying to kill me today. So anyhow, point is, these are a couple of examples of like things not going well. I'm not a complainer, but I'm kind of complaining. This is the city, right? Here's the city for you. Oh, that's funny. Here, this is somebody's sex toys and sweatshirt. These are vibrators. Look at that. Had no idea. Should I take this with me and clean them? And this is somebody's. These are sex toys. Oh my God. I'm tempted to take this with me and use it as a joke gift for somebody. I'm going to stick this the next time somebody's mailbox is open where I live. I'm sticking it in somebody's mailbox. That's hysterical to me. I had no idea that was there. There's so many of you guys right now. This is cool. That's well done. There's so many of you out there right now going, that's gross, I wouldn't touch that. Let's break down some of the things you've actually touched. You probably even are unaware of. Speaking of which, here's something funny to talk about. I'm gonna miss this light. I've been watching this dark comedy that's very raunchy and clever with Hank Azaria called Brockmire on Netflix. First 3 seasons real good. First season excellent. Second season pretty good. Third season, I started watching the 4th season last night. I think I have to stop it now because it's gone a little bit too far with the I don't know. Hang on a second. Yeah, so it just went too far for me with the female characters, and they're, you know, it's the woke thing, you know. I'm not into it. Now maybe this 4th season, the way it started, is going to be like some dream thing that he's going through, but I don't think I can't put up with what I'm seeing in the first few episodes to watch any more of it. So you lost me, Netflix, on Brockmire on that one. I can't do it anymore. Yeah, so as I was saying, they lost me on that. But a little synopsis of it, Azaria plays a broadcaster, baseball broadcaster, who's an alcoholic, who kind of wrecked his career, went off into the world for a long time, having crazy adventures, and then got picked up by a minor league baseball team. owned by Amanda Pete, who is awesome in this. And I fell for Amanda Pete in The Whole 9 Yards with Bruce Willis. You guys can remember that flick. At any rate, raunchy. As I was saying, I picked up that, I can't believe I did that. I saw the clothes there, and I saw a plastic bag with stuff in it. I didn't know what was in it. And I was just making that as an example because when I walk here, oftentimes I will see clothing and jewelry or sunglasses or just all kinds of kooky stuff just laying there. This is called the Parkway, by the way. The areas between the sidewalk and the street is the Parkway. So here in Los Angeles, it's amazing what you find. I mean, I'm not even looking. You guys know Chad, my boy Tick Warner. I mean, that's all this guy does. Chad he cruises the alleys and he's in the valley, picks up all kinds of cool stuff and cleans it up and sells it. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, the way work is so slow, maybe that's what I should be doing. This brings me to those cutting boards. I knocked out a few cutting boards a while ago, and I never finished them. And recently, I kind of finished them. I put oil on them. They need to be waxed. Here's the thing. I mean, this is what always happens. You know, I post something, everybody's like, I want one. It's good, nice to see you're making cutting boards again. Those 3 cutting boards are, while they do have the important details that I include in that style board with the finger pull and everything, they're not up to my normal standards for a Mike Z Design cutting board. What do I mean by that? Well, they're thinner than I was making those. I like to make them over 1.5 inches thick, closer to 2 inches if possible. And I like when I make those boards and they're way more intricate as far as the amount of layers to them. So when I make my boards, when I'm trying to make them purposefully to sell, I put a lot of effort into them. So, I mean, I've got pieces that are sometimes thinner than 1/8 of an inch. So you could have a board that's only 10 inches wide that has 50 pieces in it. But, you know, you're paying for that. That's what makes them so cool. Also makes them more stable. So these boards are not that. They're still excellently made boards. But initially I didn't make them with the intention of selling them. My intention was to send them to people that I feel like I owe. And that is like, there's this one couple in particular that's they're patrons to the channel. They're constantly sending me stuff. Sometimes they even send me some money. I mean, it's just, they're so kind. I just want to send them a cutting board. And then there's a friend of mine from back home who, well, I guess we did kind of do a trade at the time. But there was this catastrophe that happened in his life where his girlfriend's pad burnt down right after he gave her the cutting board. And I haven't made any cutting boards since. Look at this, it's like colonial America here. So I kind of just wanted to send him one just to be a nice guy, because I'm basically a nice guy, right? Contrary to what some of you think. And then I had an extra, but I think I have somebody in mind for that as well, although I might be willing to sell it. It's just, here's the thing. These boards, typically, I was selling them, I think they were $200 or $225. That's a lot of money for a cutting board. Again, there's no other cutting board out there that has all the details I put into them. You know, they're not Mike Z Design cutting board. I worked on one of these houses, this one here. I did some work on this house probably 25 years ago or so. They wouldn't remember. It's probably not even the same owners anymore. At any rate, with shipping, you know, I think I was selling them for $225 or $245 or something like that with shipping. And I sold all those out. And I know there's a market for them, and the way things are going, you know, I might have to start doing it again. So keep your eyes peeled. Those of you who keep asking me about the cutting boards, there might be some. We'll see how it goes. I thought I was going to be doing a job, but I misunderstood the woman. You guys might have saw I did a short. I think I posted it yesterday. This nice lady, older lady, sweetheart. She's got an Astro van. It's a two-wheel drive with a high top on it, and she was just at Fiberine the other day and had the bump outs put in. And she had ripped out a lot of her build for me to look at it for her. She said she wanted me to help her with her build. This is a tough one for me because that would have to be like a favor. I can't charge this lady that much money if I do anything for her. So it's not going to be a complete build. It would just be a couple little things. And we'll see if she can do it. I thought she wanted to do it, but really she was just swinging by for me to take a look. Check this out. It's a cool lit up peace sign there. So yeah, I thought she was coming down here to stay here for a couple days so I could do it, but no, she just wanted me to look at it. I think I might do a video talking about van builds to help people out with that. I've done a lot of content on this subject already. I have been lazy about curating the channel as far as adding videos to playlists. But I think that's partly because I discovered some time ago, and I mentioned it to you guys with videos, if you go to my channel, you got my homepage open, there's a little spot up there with a line with a spyglass next to it. So anything you think I might have done a video on, or you're hoping I did a video on, all you have to do there is type in keywords. So if you want to know what I thought about something, and if that word is in the title, or maybe I typed it in the description box under the video, then those videos will list underneath there for you, and then you'll be able to find all that content. So that seems pretty easy to me. You should be smart enough to figure that out. You are watching me right now. I know, I'm giving some of you more credit than you deserve. Which brings up a thing like, we haven't had this troll on the page for a while, but he recently cropped up again. I don't know who this person is. I have a suspicion. I think I mentioned this to you guys. I think I told you guys about that woman I used to get it on with back in the day. It's like France. And she started dating this dude who called me out of the blue one day because he hadn't heard from her in a while, and was talking to me about it. I don't know, man. She's with this dude and he's a weirdo. Like, serious weirdo. That's all real cedar shake. I didn't know you can still do that legally in California, but I guess in this neighborhood it's okay. They redid this roof. This past year. Although it looks old already. Yeah, they're already having problems with that. That's just from the sun. What that is that a lot of those cedar shakes that I'm looking at, if they're going to warp like that, that's going to be because they're not vertical grain, they're flat grain shake, which they should never be. So that's a little weird. That's a shame. This is the sort of thing I see all the time. People spending big bucks here, and then that happens. You know, there's a lot of fairies in LA. That's all I'm saying. I forgot what the hell I was saying. Anyhow, look, I might have to do some cutting boards. I might have to do a lot of stuff I don't want to do. We'll just see how this goes. Not happy. And back to this woman. Her name's Addie. Addie showed up at the Astro Van meetup at, I don't know, what was that, Old Route 66 there in Barstow last year. I'm supposed to go out there and do that again for you guys, but I haven't confirmed it because I don't think I'm going to do it this year. I want to, but just things are not going well at the moment, so it's hard for me to be positive minded and plan for things, and also because I don't know if I'm going to have any money. Here's an old house that hasn't been touched. That is a real fixer-upper. Look at the front door. And the corbels. It's funny to me because it has a kind of Greek revival vibe, but it has the Spanish villa roof tiles. It's like they can't make up their mind blending the two different styles. We have a Tudor here. It's always interesting to see all the different architectural styles around Los Angeles. Yeah, so I mentioned the heat, just to jump around here a little bit. The heat also makes it hard for me to do anything. Like I could be in the shop right now doing some stuff. It's just, I have an open air shop. I don't have central air. Just makes it miserable. Of course, if I was working on a project right now, I would be in the shop working because I would have to be. It also affects me at the apartment, right? It's friggin' hot. So the heat is a thing on top of the fact that I'm not happy. But hey, I did pick up a bag of dildos on the street, so it's not every day you find a bag of dildos. Also known as the Democratic Party. I'm just playing. They're not all bad. This is nice and safe. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Nothing wrong with that being wide open, I'm sure. Let's see what else we can find on this walk. We found a bag of dildos already. What the hell was I saying? Oh, I want to talk about this. As I look at the helicopters like it's a war zone out here. The Iran situation, look, I support it. I think it should have been done a long time ago. I'm of the patent strategy. I think when we were, and I said this at the time, when we were over there in Iraq and then Afghanistan, I felt like we should have went into Iran at that time. I mean, we were already over there. Anyhow, I still don't think it's going to last long. I still don't think that we're going to see a major force like boots on the ground. But I've said this already, and I'm cool with it. Strike forces, right? Marines, stuff like that, to go in there once pretty much everything is taken out, if they have to. I think it's the right thing to do. I don't think I would trust the Praetorian Guard there, you know? The guys that are the most ideologically supportive of the Ayatollah. Like if they said, we surrender. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. I would rather have them not surrender and force us to send in just some Marines, you know, maybe some Rangers, maybe some Delta Force if needed, just to kill those dudes. Because we know that these people lie too much. So, yeah. But my point on this is I want to bring up with you guys is this. Stop watching this every day because it's not healthy. And matter of fact, I got something, I think I have something on my phone still. If you see it right now, that I had it on there. I watch Gutfeld on Fox. Apologies for the helicopter, if you can hear it. When I turn that channel on, and then I go to the DVR, it's funny, I like to screw up the algorithm, so if I'm watching the DVR, I tune it to Fox, but I'm not actually watching, right? Fox is on behind the DVR. I'm watching whatever I recorded. But from time to time, when I'm done with watching Gutfeld or anything else I've DVR'd, The Curse of Oak Island on the History Channel, for an example, there'll be something on Fox, and if it's a show, they're talking about something I'm interested in, I'll watch. And The Five is on from time to time. And a couple days ago, Jessica Tarlov was highlighting the things that weren't going well with this Iran situation. Funny thing, everything she listed took about 20 seconds. But that's what the left is going to do, right? Hang on a second. And this is what the left does. They want you to focus on anything that's not going right. And then Gutfeld spoke. And he took her down, man. And this is what he had to say about that.
Talk about. Well, you know, what has gone on in the last 7 or 8 days is pretty majestic, and I think Jesse lays it out pretty clear. And then what Jessica does was list these details that she's amassed together, downloaded into one thing, like look at all of these little problems. Once again, it's like the process is more important than the outcome. And it reminds me of the deportations. Seems like a millennia ago when that was the worst thing ever. You remember, these were the people who didn't care who got in. Now arguing how we're getting them out and saying, but you said it was the worst first. Of course, they didn't check to see who the worst was when they let them in. So the point being is you need to figure out your own mess before you criticize ours. Keep your side of the street clean and we'll keep our side of the street clean. And that's kind of the funny thing about Republicans is that, you know, you lost your seat at the table because Republicans do serious things. The border, crime, foreign policy. The last 10 years, your party, Jessica, preoccupied yourself with identity politics, pronouns, trans, body positivity. That's not our fault. So when we're doing adult stuff, you go to the kiddie table. The Democrats are like a brat that just completed a semester at Yale lecturing Gramps on white privilege. We don't need to hear it. Everyone, it's you know, and by the way, I hate this practice where they all try to spend money at the very end of the year, but we didn't invent that. You can guess who invented that, you know, and I'm not taking any guff from people who had taxpayers, you know, paying for drag queen story hour in Cambodia. At least the surf and turf went to our troops. And at least, I mean, again, you have no credibility on any of these things because you were never at the adult table. Instead, you chased these things that were nothing but virtue signalings that weren't even for the American people. You know, Sesame Street for Iraqis. Like, that wasn't for us. That's where you spent the money. So all I'm saying is we're good at the big picture. Until you guys can prove to us that you are too, you're going to sit at the little table and you're going to sit there and you go, but this happened. Oh, but this happened. Remember this? Oh, this is bad. It's like that. You guys do that. We're good.
Should we get a little table for Jessica?
I'm going to put you on a little table.
I don't want to sit at a little table. People will realize how large I actually am.
And that's an important message to everybody, regardless of what side you're on. The left has forfeited their ability to make opinions anymore because everything they've supported has always been on the wrong side. They're just wrong. They're wrong every time. And they're the children. So, this situation has to be dealt with. And so, yeah. Here's the thing, here's the caveat. If I'm wrong and they send in 70,000 troops, 100,000 troops, and it turns into, then I'll be the first one to go, yep, I bought it, didn't believe it, but whatever. I still don't think it's going to be an ongoing thing. We're still one day shy, I think, of it being 2 weeks. And in that amount of time, we have taken out the Navy, the Air Force, most of their abilities. So at this point now, it's just these little fragmented groups out there, little speedboats and whatnot. And that's going to be just a matter of time. But I still don't think it's going to take very much longer. That's my opinion. Let's see if I'm right. Again, not hung up on being right. Never have been. So that's that. This real nice girl I've been talking to, who also happens to be pretty, has a couple links that she was sharing with me, and one of them was a guy that has a site devoted to shipping. The problem with that is, well, I'll tell you that in a second. Everything that you're seeing right now on YouTube and normal media is doom and gloom, and a lot of you are addicted to this doom scrolling thing. You've really got to break yourself free of it. Pay attention to what's going on, but stop watching this throughout the day. If you have your phone set up for notifications and you happen to be watching things that are sensationalized and making everything seem negative, and you're unhappy, it's your fault. It's your own fault, because you're the one choosing to engage with that. And I'm not going to talk to you about it. If you keep sending me things that are, sensationalized, you have to understand that's what you're addicted to, not me. I'm not addicted to that. I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm a grown-up, and I understand that not everything's going to be perfect. Far from it. And there's going to be, as far as this Iran thing or any other war, mistakes will be made. Innocents will be killed. Our service members will be, some will be maimed and killed. That's part of the job. That's what you sign up for when you enlist, and you know that that's a possibility. These are grown-ups. This is grown-up stuff. This has been the problem in the past, right? So in the past, ever since World War II, right? World War II, we let the generals go in there and fight the wars. But Korea became a political problem. By the way, there's that whole thing, people will argue, it was never about communism. Of course it was, and to a large degree, as evidenced by North Korea still existing. And look at what happened to Vietnam, And the Vietnam thing was 100%, that war was not fought to win. It was fought based on opinions, depending on the election cycle every 2 years we have in this country. That's what did it. And I was brought up to believe we lost Vietnam, and that's not true. We won everything in Vietnam. We left because it was unpopular. That's what happened. I mean, the first part of my life was war on television every day. I'm born in '66, so we were there till 75, I guess, right? Was that the last time somebody left there? But so I'm just saying, all the other wars since then, again, it's all been politics. But right now, we're allowing generals to fight the war. That's why it's not going to take as long. All right, so here's something I'll ask you for. Some positive vibes, man. Send me some positive vibes. I need to be happy. I need a job. I need to bring in some coin. How am I supposed to keep my watch collection growing if I don't have any money to spend? I'm just about done with this. It's been a month total with the parasite cleanse, so you guys are going to get all the info on that. You guys trust me, I'm getting to it. One of the things that annoys me a little bit with some of you guys, slightly, is asking me questions about a different topic in a comment under a video that has nothing to do with what you're asking me. I'm not going to address it. Let's keep it on point. Let's keep it on topic. Let's keep it positive. Remember, you're supposed to be nice to one another.